Keith Kalfas. People have been waiting for this video for a long time. My friend William built something he calls the Franken trailer. It saves him time and money and makes him money, but this is genius. Like, who cuts a dump trailer in half and welds a chipper with a turret onto it? We're gonna ask William all about it in this video right now.
Years now, almost to the week since I've built this Franken trailer, and today's the day that we're finally going to do a video and give some detailed explanation of what was in my mind when I built it and how it's lasted and held up until today. Let's go. When I first had this idea a few years ago, I didn't know that these were actually mass produced yet, but the base cost of them was around $80,000. There was no way that me as a small business owner was going to fork out $80,000, so I had to make my own. First things first, I had to get the trailer. The trailer is a 14-foot long, 4-foot high steel wall trailer. And as you can see here, I took the forward-facing 4-foot off, and then pushed this front wall back, welded it all back on. That was step one. We rolled like that for a little bit. Everything was good, worked out well. Still didn't have a chipper. The day finally came that I had a chipper now that was small enough to fit on here. Ended up cutting off the axles, the fenders, the front of the tongue, removed the battery and just used the dump battery. So we were able to reduce a lot of weight. And then what I did was I put it on a turntable that swivels 360 degrees. So right now you're seeing the back of this Altec chipper. So we can chip from that side. But if need be, because of traffic, small streets where I am, it is very condensed, very tight sometimes. We only have one option to pull up, so now I can swing this and chip from the other side. The other bonus to having this side mounted is that it keeps all of the work, all of the branches, all of the bodies literally out of the street, where I'm coming in chipping from the curb rather from behind the truck going into a dump or into a trailer. So a lot of people ask me about the turntable and what I use. The turntable that's connecting the trailer to the chipper actually has a 3,800 pound capacity. This chipper, when I've stripped everything off of it, is weighing around 1,500 pounds, so I'm well below the limits of that turret. But also what I've done with these 10-ton ratchet straps is stabilized it so it's not rocking back and forth at all. I've got 40,000 tons of straps holding down something that only weighs 1,500 pounds. Security and it staying on and staying put was never an issue. Next, we had to replace the motor here. This is a Honda GX690. This was not cheap, came direct from Honda. It was plug and play. Did a lot of painting, a lot of maintenance to get it ready. It did have some rust issues, but low hours when I first got it, so a lot of the stuff was kind of just cosmetic. It is a disc chipper. It's only 6 inches, but I'm a small operation and we don't really do a lot of massive removals. When I do, we're able to pop the top off of this trailer and get wood with the loader or the crane over the edge if we're not opening the barn doors and just putting it in the back traditionally. Still able to keep my ramps. If you've ever seen the Steiner in videos before with Keith, you know that I can drive the Steiner right in here with the grapple, with the bucket, and I can load big logs or load mulch. So this is all still very functional. I haven't lost anything as far as the tipping, and the heaviest that it is on the tongue is actually when it's empty, because if you look up at the chipper chute, everything is shooting now past the axle, and all material buildup is starting from the back working forward rather than the traditional forward working back. So as soon as I start adding weight past this rear axle, it becomes a much more balanced of a ride. Not that it has too many issues, but when it does get loaded down, you can feel it on my diesel a little bit. Again, never had a problem towing it, never had a problem with weight. It's always performed. Go. Another cool feature is that when I put this on here, I designed it so that the tip of the chipper chute would actually not touch the trailer. You didn't have to do anything, long story short, to dump out, and I'll give you an example right now.
Yeah, it doesn't touch. Oh, hey bro, talk about how you don't need 2 guys and 2 trucks, one following. You know what I'm talking about? It's all within one truck, your whole operation.
So when I first started, I tried to stay as small as possible while being able to do as much as possible. I first had the box truck, organized tree truck. I kept all my tools. It was a dually, still have it, but that's what pulled this at first. So I would literally have all the tools, ropes, climbing gear, saws, poles, everything you would need Then I had a chipper and still a dump trailer, and if I wanted to, I could put a loader in, or a stump grinder in the back of the dump trailer, which really having this combined into one eliminates the need for one, if not two trucks.
It's all on one truck.
It's all on one truck.
Because you're pulling it with this truck, which is all your tree gear. I'll put links below to all these other videos where you can see all of this too. So it's an entire mobile tree operation that takes one driver. This truck with all the tools pulls the dump trailer and chipper, has everything. Does that make sense?
So pretty much the point of this trailer was that I don't need to listen to what anybody says about the equipment I need, how new it needs to be, how nice it needs to be. I stay in my lane and I do the things that I want to do to my equipment to make it better. I make my equipment work for me, and this is what works for me. It might not work for you, but this may help out a lot of other guys. I'm not saying go build one, but I'm in this under $14,000 and it's pretty well brand new, where again I said MSRP, they're closer to 80,000. So if you live in a tight area and you've got streets that are constantly people double parking and bottlenecking roads and stuff like that, this may be the way that you need to go with chipping off the curb and giving yourself some more space, eliminating one truck, eliminating the need for another employee to drive a truck. Again, it works for me. I hope it works for you, but if not, do your own thing.